Hey guys, I thought I'd show you this new boxing game that I got for my virtual reality headset. It's called Oculus Quest. I've done a couple of videos, at least once, but this one is about, it's called The Thrill of the Fight, and it's more realistic boxing, so you can actually move around in your room. So you create a little guardian, they call it, with, 6 by 6 feet or whatever space you have, and you can actually move around. So I found this, I got quite tired moving around, and you start to see bruises and cuts on the guy's face and body, and it's kind of like what people say is like shadow boxing, but with the real opponent, like with a virtual opponent instead of just doing it, in the air. But I have a game called Creed, and this is I think I like this better. It's, even though that other one is amazing as well, but this is more kind of streamlined and just simplified and kind of more realistic. I'll talk about in a second. So I'll just start to play this. So you can see the guy's blocking, quite well his face, but then you can try to target his body and hit around it with, hooks and stuff like that. I've noticed that sometimes when you go to like jab or punch and you expose your side, that's when it'll hit you. So they kind of they're kind of aware of some of the tactics, but with Creed, you have to actually use these buttons and hand motions to move, to back away or to move around, and that can be difficult when you're trying to block and punch and stuff. So this one, once you map an area out that's safe, that you're not going to punch the walls or hit furniture and stuff, you can actually move around quite freely, and the guy follows you. Like as you're moving, he'll actually look at you and turn to face you, or if you can move into him and stuff like that. So there's a bit of a more physical component. And when you hit the person, you'll see yellow and blue indicating, how much you've hit the guy. And when you get hit, sometimes when he hits you, the screen goes blurry and stuff like that. So like that, black and white and stuff like that. So that starts to indicate that you're getting damaged, With Creed, when you're punching a lot, the gloves start to change color and blink, so that kind of indicates that you're losing energy. But in this game, it's actually based on your actual physical ability. So as you're holding your arms up quite a bit, if you're out of shape or whatever, you can get tired holding your arms up and lots of swinging, and you have to pace yourself, all that stuff that's based on your actual own physical capabilities, not a computer deciding that you need to take a break and stuff like that. So it started out with a little bit of a training guy for one round, and then I started going through a few different opponents. So this is where the 3 rounds are over, and you get a judgment in terms of who won. The other thing that happens is in between each round you have to rest for a minute. You don't have to take the whole minute, but I've been finding I was sweating and quite out of breath, so I took the whole minute, and that was quite interesting just to kind of rest. So this is another guy, and so I've been fighting a few different opponents, and they all have different styles and things like that. So it's going to be a learning experience. There's also a training area where you can punch the speed bag and the heavy bag, and things like that to kind of it'll actually gauge your punching power and detect what kind of, if it's a hook or a jab or a cross and stuff like that. So, or uppercut. So you can punch like a dummy, or you can do different exercises to just to kind of sense, how it's detecting your punching speed and stuff like that. So one of the main reasons I got this, I've never been into video games that much. Like when I was young, I used to, but I never played video games for decades. But one of the main reasons was exercise. I wanted something more motivational for me that's somewhat realistic. Like I've got a table tennis, which is amazing too. The physics and the spin you can put on the ball. And the more you move around in table tennis, the more exercise you can get. But boxing, for sure, it's way more exercise. And there's a thing called Box VR and Beat Saber, which, they're fun games with music and stuff, but this is great because it's an actual practical, skill that you can develop. But even if and people that have done shadow boxing or boxing and MMA and stuff have said that this is quite realistic. So that's one of their goals, is to make this realistic. And he's made changes and tweaks as people have given him feedback with real, information. So I was surprised. I really like this. I just got it today. I've played it a whole bunch, sweating like crazy. I ended up wiping off the Oculus. So I've got an insert here, and I wipe it down with these with a bit of a cleaner, because I sweat quite a bit. So in between rounds, I actually had to take this off a bit and sort of wipe my face and stuff, because I was getting pretty sweaty. And I had pants and shirt on. I had to take my shirt off and wear shorts. So anyways, I'm hoping that this is more motivational for me to exercise. So talk to you guys later. I hope you guys like that. I'll put a link below so you can see where to get the Oculus Quest if you're interested. See you guys.